Welcome children. In the last video we studied about measurement of length, mass and time, and today we are going to study about least count, accuracy, precision and significant figures. So first of all we can study about least count. So least count of a measuring instrument is the least measurement or the smallest measurement that can be made using that particular instrument. So least count is the smallest measurement or least measurement that can be made using any measuring instrument. That is called as least count. For example, suppose I am taking measurement of length. This length can be measured using different instruments like meter scale, vernier calipers, screw gauge, and these different instruments are having different least count. For example, meter scale is having it is used to measure length and is having a least count of 1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter. So least count of meter scale is 1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter. That is the least measurement that can be made using meter scale is 1 millimeter or it may be in 0.1 centimeter. Similarly, we have another one instrument called vernier calipers. Vernier calipers, and the least measurement that we can made using vernier calipers is 0.1 millimeter or in centimeter 0.01 centimeter. This is the least count of which one? Vernier calipers. So least count of vernier calipers is the 0.1 millimeter or 0.01 centimeter. Similarly, we have another one instrument called screw gauge. Screw gauge. And the least count of a screw gauge is 0.01 millimeter or in centimeter 0.001 centimeter. So this is the least measurement that can be made using screw gauge. So anyway, least count is the smallest measurement that can be made using any measuring instrument. Okay. So next we have to study about accuracy. Accuracy of a measurement mainly depends on least count of the measuring instrument. So its accuracy mainly depends on least count of measuring instrument. So whenever least count is less, measurement is more accurate. Measurement is more accurate. So anyway, this accuracy mainly depends on least count of the measuring instrument, and whenever least count is less, measurement is more accurate. Example, suppose we are measuring length of a road using meter scale. Meter scale, and its length we got as 2.3 centimeter. So we are measuring length of a road in meter scale and we got as 2.3 centimeter, and the same road we are measuring in vernier calipers. Vernier calipers, and I got the length as 2.32 centimeter. 32 centimeter. So here least count of vernier calipers is less than least count of meter scale. So this measurement is more accurate in which one? Vernier calipers. That means this 2.32 centimeter is more accurate than 2.3 centimeter. So whenever least count is less, measurement is more accurate. So this accuracy mainly depends on how close this measured value is to the true value. Okay. Suppose the true value, the original value or true value of this road I am taking as 2.35. Suppose the true value of this road, measuring road is 2.35 centimeter, and this measured value using vernier calipers is 2.32 and measured value using meter scale is 2.3 centimeter. So now this 2.32 is more close to the true value. So this accuracy mainly depends on how close this measured value is to the true value. So if the measured value is so much close to the true value, means that measurement is more accurate. Okay, so here compared to 2.3 centimeter, this 2.32 centimeter is more close to 2.35 centimeter. So that means 2.32 centimeter is more accurate. Okay, so this accuracy mainly depends on how close this measured value is to the true value. Okay, it depends on how close the measured value is to the true value. Okay, so next we can study about precision. Precision determines how close two or more values are with each other, irrespective of whether this measurement is accurate or not. So here this precision mainly determines how close two or more measured values are with each other, irrespective of whether this measurement is accurate or not. And this limit of precision for any measuring instrument is given by plus or minus half of the smallest value that can be measured using that particular instrument. So plus or minus half of the smallest value that can be measured using that particular instrument. So this limit of precision for measurement using any measuring instrument is given by plus or minus half of the smallest value that can be measured using that particular instrument. For example, in case of meter scale, in meter scale, the limit of precision for measurement using meter scale is given by plus or minus half of the smallest value that can be measured using meter scale. So the smallest measurement which can be measured using meter scale is 1 millimeter. So half of 1 millimeter means 0.5 millimeter. So it can be taken as plus or minus 0.5 millimeter, or in centimeter we can write as 0.1 centimeter. That is the least count in the case of meter scale, 0.1. So half of this one means 0.05 centimeter. So we can write as plus or minus 0.05 centimeter. This is the limit of precision for measurement using which one? Meter scale. The limit of precision for measurement using meter scale is plus or minus 0.5 millimeter or plus or minus 0.05 centimeter. Similarly, in the case of vernier calipers, the limit of precision for measurement using vernier calipers is plus or minus half of the smallest value that can be measured using vernier calipers. The smallest value that can be measured using vernier calipers is 0.1 millimeter. That means half of this one is 0.05 millimeter. So we can write as plus or minus 0.05 millimeter, or in centimeter we have a 0.01 centimeter. 0.01 centimeter. The half of this one is 0.005 centimeter. So we can write as plus or minus 0.005 centimeter. So its limit of precision for any measuring instrument can be calculated as plus or minus half of the smallest value that can be measured using that particular instrument. Okay. So for meter scale it can be written as plus or minus 0.5 millimeter or plus or minus 0.05 centimeter. Similarly, for vernier calipers, limit of precision is plus or minus 0.05 millimeter or plus or minus 0.005 centimeter. Okay. So for example, suppose I am measuring a length and I am getting a meter scale. I am measuring length using meter scale and I am getting the length as how much? 2.3 centimeter. Okay. Then this true value, or we can its limit of precision can be written as limit of precision. The limit of precision of this measured value can be written as 2.3 plus or minus. So what is the limit of precision in the case of meter scale? 0.05 centimeter. Suppose I am getting in centimeter, so I am taking this one only. Okay. So plus or minus 0.05 centimeter. That means this reading measurement will be the true value measurement, or we can say true value. So measurement lies between 2.25 to which one? To which range? 2.35 centimeter. So this measurement will be in the range of 2.25 to 2.35 centimeters. This actual value will be in the range of 2.25 centimeter to which one? 2.35 centimeter. Okay. So this is about the limit of precision. Okay. Next is diagrammatic representation of precision and accuracy. Suppose we have a true value. So this is the true value. True value, and we have the measured values like this. So here these measured values are 0.05 close to the true value. That means these measured values will be more accurate. So here accurate values, the measurement is more accurate because these measured values are close to the true value. So whenever measured values are close to the true value, these values will be more accurate. So this can be considered as which one? This more accurate values. Similarly, I am taking another one. So this is the true value. True value. And suppose when I am measuring now, so all these measured values I am getting like this. So these are the measured values. But here these measured values are not close to the true value. That means it is not accurate. So here measurement is not accurate. So whenever measurement is accurate means this measured value should be near to the true value. But all the measured values are close to each other. That means this may be a precise value. So here measurement is more precise. So these are called as precise values. Precise values. Because here the measured values are close to each other. So whenever the measured values are close to each other, that is called as which one? Precise values. And whenever these measured values are close to true value, it can be considered as accurate. Okay. Similarly, suppose I am taking, this is the true value. And suppose I am getting the measured values like this. So here we can say these measured values are not precise as well as not accurate. Not precise and not accurate. Not precise and not accurate. So this is the diagrammatic representation of which one? Precision and accuracy. So suppose when we are representing diagrammatic means it may be more clear for you. Okay. Next is significant figures. The number of digits which we are certain plus one additional digit which is uncertain can be called as significant figures. The number of digits which we are certain plus one additional digit which is uncertain can be called as which one? Number of significant figures. For example, suppose I am taking a measurement as 1.21 centimeter. Clear? And here this 1.2 is actual only, that is true value, that we are certain. This value will be true or certain only, and one more additional digit which is uncertain, and together can be called as significant figures. So in this measurement we have how many significant figures? 1, 2 and 3. 3 significant figures are there. So the number of digits which we are certain plus one additional digit which is uncertain can be called as significant figures. Okay. And when the number of significant figures are more, what will happen? Measurement is more accurate. Suppose I am taking one measurement as 1.3 centimeter and another one I am taking is 1.32 centimeter. So here we have only 2 significant figures and here we have 3 significant figures. 3 significant figures are there. So which one is more accurate? The second one is more accurate. So whenever number of significant figures are more, measurement is more accurate. Now next we have to study about some of the rules for determining number of significant figures. First one is all non-zero digits are significant. For example, suppose I am taking 123. So here all numbers are non-zero only. So here we have how many significant figures? 3 significant figures. So all non-zero digits are significant. So I am taking another one example, 143.5. So here also all numbers are non-zero only. So we have how many significant figures? 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 significant figures are there. Then second one, trailing zeros are not significant. Trailing zeros, or we can say ending zeros. Ending zeros are not significant. Ending zeros are not significant. For example, suppose I am taking a number 122000. That means ending zeros without decimal. This number should not have any decimal. So without decimal, the trailing zeros are insignificant. These zeros are insignificant. Insignificant. That means this number has how many significant figures? 1, 2, 3. Only 3 significant figures. So these trailing zeros or ending zeros in the case of non-decimal number is not significant. So we have only 3 significant figures here. Now third one, suppose I am writing a number like this, 235.00. That means the zeros coming after a decimal. The zeros coming after a decimal in the case of number greater than 1. The zeros coming after a decimal in the case of numbers greater than 1 is significant. The zeros coming to the right of the decimal or coming after the decimal. The zeros coming to the right of the decimal is significant. That means this number should be greater than 1 and the zeros are coming after the decimal. So here how many significant figures now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 significant figures are here. 5 significant figures. 5 significant figures. Now next one. Fourth one. The zeros coming after a non-zero digit. And before a decimal, like this. The zeros coming after a non-zero digit and before a decimal are significant. Okay, so here zeros are coming after a non-zero digit and before a decimal are considered as significant. That means here how many significant figures are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 significant figures. 4 significant figures. So zeros coming after a non-zero digit and before a decimal is taken as significant. Now I told you trailing zeros are not significant. For example, 1, 2, 2, 0, 0, 0. These zeros are not significant. But suppose one unit is also coming here. 1, 2, 2, 0, 0. Then I am taking some meter here. So one unit is also coming here. Means at that time these zeros are significant. Okay. So another one 3, 2, 5, 0, 0. Second, then the zeros are significant. So here how many significant figures? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 significant figures are there. And here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 significant figures. So simply trailing zeros are not significant. But after the trailing zeros, suppose one unit is coming, means that zeros will become significant. Okay. The next one. The zeros coming after a decimal. The zeros coming after a decimal and before a non-zero digit. And if this number is less than 1, then the zeros are not significant. Okay. The zeros coming after a decimal and before a non-zero digit, and if this number is less than 1, at that time these zeros are not significant. That means these zeros are not significant. We have only how many significant figures here? 2 significant figures. 2 significant figures. Okay. Similarly, I am taking another one example, 0.045. So here also this 0 is not significant. So only we have how many significant figures? 2 significant figures. And this 0 also not significant. So in the case of numbers less than 1, this zeros before as well as zeros after decimal are not significant. If the number is less than 1, zeros before decimal as well as zeros after decimal are not significant, especially when the number is less than 1. Okay. Now, sixth one. The significant figures does not get affected by systems of units. Does not get affected by systems of units. Systems of units or different units. Suppose I am taking one example. One example I am taking 16.2 millimeter. 16.2 millimeter. Okay. So this is in millimeter. Suppose when units change means what about the significant figures? So here how many significant figures? 1, 2, 3. 3 significant figures. 3 significant figures. And 1 millimeter we have to convert into centimeters. How will you convert into centimeter? Dividing by 10. So I will be getting 1.62 centimeter. So here also how many significant figures? 1, 2, 3. 3 significant figures. 3 significant figures. And again I am converting into which one? Meter. So we can divide by 100. So we will be getting 0.0162 meter. Now also how many significant figures? Here this 0 is not significant. So we are having 1, 2, 3. So 3 significant figures. So when the systems of unit changes, this number of significant figures will not change. So these systems of unit are not affected by which one? The significant figures. Their significant figures are not affected by the systems of unit. Okay. So this much only today. Remaining portions we can study on the next video.